semi was found mysteriously abandoned in Sac County, but there's been no trace of David Schultz for nearly a week now. Today, a specialized group of searchers gathered to look for him and hopefully find some answers. KTIV's Connor Trett was with them.
Just outside of Sac City, about 3 miles down past this junction of Highway 20 and 71, is where the big rig of David Schultz was found abandoned and on the side of the road. Local law enforcement searches early on turned up empty, and since Saturday, it's been a group of Sac County residents that have taken over the search. 53-year-old Wall Lake resident David Schultz was supposed to make a delivery in Sac City on Tuesday night, but he never arrived, and his wife, boss, and customers couldn't get a hold of him.
I got a call from Dave's phone, and I was like, oh, there he is, but it was the police, it wasn't him. And they said, well, we found his truck and his phone and his wallet, but not him. So I found out where the truck was, and the way it was parked when I pulled up, I was like, there's no way Dave would have left that truck parked like that. There's no way.
After searches by local law enforcement came up empty, a group of about 75 locals came out to continue the search for Schultz. And United Cajun Navy, a nonprofit based out of Baton Rouge, came to supply aid.
With the cops in this area having some limited resources of search teams, limited officers as well, we decided that, as a nonprofit that, leads in disaster response and search and rescue, that we could maybe step in and bring some organization to the situation.
The community outreach has been just beyond words. I just want to thank everyone that donated their time. I know it's cold and windy, and I'm taking away from your families in some cases, but it's much appreciated.
Over the weekend, new information has been found that's helped narrow the search.
At this point, new information was brought to our attention that does give us the idea that, west of Highway 4 should be where we focus our search and where we focus our efforts. We just want to thank them for allowing us to, know some of that information that is part of an investigation, but at least we're not out searching aimlessly.
Rowley says that the United Cajun Navy will continue to help searching through the first weekend of December, but they hope to end the search sooner with good news. In Sac County, Connor Trett, KTIV News 4.
If you'd like help with the search, the United Cajun Navy will set up another search tomorrow morning at 10:30. You can meet at the Sparky's gas station in Rockwell City at the intersection of Highway 4 and Highway